Optimists hold on to the possibility that it's a bad moment, but the next moment might be different. And who we are in that next moment might be just the right thing for that moment. Okay? A second story of resilience, one of a young girl I worked with at Dana-Farber. Her name was Gwen. The name I give her when I talk about her is Gwen. It's not her actual name. She was 8 years old, and Gwen had come to the hospital for an amputation. She had bone cancer of the right leg, and she was going to be amputated just below the knee, and her surgery was 3 weeks out. So we had 3 weeks to work together, 5 days a week, and as we do with children in those situations, we basically invite them to tell us how they want to spend their time together. And Gwen had a very specific therapeutic request. She understood that in 3 weeks' time, she was going to be walking around with 1.5 legs. And given that she had a lot to do in this world, her job over the next 3 weeks was to get really, really, really good at hopping. So our treatment together was to hop out of Dana-Farber, past Children's Hospital, down to the Riverway, and get really good at one-legged hopping. And that's what we did. We didn't talk much. We didn't do play therapy. We didn't get out the puppets. We didn't write letters to imaginary friends. We hopped. And as we hopped, she developed a certain confidence in herself, because I need to tell you that an 8-year-old is much better at hopping than a 31-year-old at the time. She won every race we were in. She would go home to her parents and report how pathetic I was as a hopper. And she began to threaten her younger brother that she was going to beat him at every hopping race as well. Now, Gwen had a natural sort of optimism, but she also had 2 characteristics which are inherent in resilient folk. These are so important that I'm going to amplify them later on. Number 1, Gwen had close, dependable relationships. She had a very loving, secure family. And because of that security and those relationships, she felt confident enough to, number 2, know where to turn to for help and actually ask for help. Some of us in this culture have been raised to believe that we need to do this